Hey everybody, what you doing? Are you up having breakfast? Are you just sleeping and listening to your phone while you're sleeping like I do? Well, I figured I'd read you some Reddit today. This one is what to look for in an off-campus home. Now, most of these the actual comment or the actual first person that put this on there, it's actually been deleted, but some of the answers are on there. So this person with this really odd name says unfinished basement, shitty house, no neighbors. The next person says proximity to other organizations versus residential houses, party room space if you're going to be hosting consistently, a house that is at least semi-older or at least a little more banged up instead of a brand new house that your guys will inevitably break shit in. Be honest to your landlord as well. It goes a long way in the scheme of things. Okay. Obviously, they're looking for a frat house. Yes. What they would call a satellite home. A satellite house. Now, that satellite house is where they go to party off campus. Because I've read something that sometimes if there's all the frats are at one place. How'd that go? If they're like at one place at the same time. Oh, dang it. How'd that go? Something to do, like, that they would consider it like a party, like a... Oh, man, I'll have to think about it. Hold on. I'm going to have to delete that part out of there. Darn it. Okay. Second this about the landlord. It helps so much to put it out there that you plan to throw parties. At best, they'll be okay with it, or at least apathetic. But if they make a big fuss about it, when you tell them you're ready, tell them you already know you'll be better off not renting their place. Oh, what's that now? At least they'll be okay with it, or at least apathetic. But if they make a big fuss about it when you tell them you already know you'll be better off not renting their place. Oh well, kiss ass. That's what those rats are doing. They're good at it. You know, like old Eddie Haskell, Conrad that was with Hunter. When he first opened the door, at, the King House, at that first, I think it was the first body cam we ever saw, actually, on that. I think it was Lana got that one. Okay, so a large basement, as previously mentioned, would be good to keep the party contained so the rest of the house doesn't get destroyed too often. A few extra half, if not full bathrooms could be useful, especially if one might be located in the basement or somewhere closely connected. Somewhere within stumbling distance of campus and or close to where most of your off-campus brothers are staying. Try to stick to areas that are predominantly student housing. Students probably won't mind the loud music and drunks stumbling through their yard every weekend because they're probably going to be out partying too. But regular townies, especially those with kids, probably not so much. Okay, I don't know I don't know where you're at geographically, but if you live up north, definitely look for a place with a big rooms inside for winter parties. Big garages work too. We're in Texas, so we don't have to worry too much about snow getting bad. Okay, well then never mind. Neighbors are number one priority. Then space, and then assembling a squad that can make good use of the castle. How do you like that one, you guys? That's very interesting. A squad. The castle. In fact, that's really interesting how they say that. The squad make good use of the castle. For the kings and the queens, you know? The slush fund to afford noise complaints. Well, go to Moscow. You won't need to worry about it. Just shake a hand. Or, no. Fist bump, baby. After bouncing around houses for every year I've been in my frat, we finally found a very acceptable house. Big basement, open first floor space, soundproof, big porches, big enough backyard for games, 3 bedrooms, and great neighbors despite loving in a busy area. And great neighbors despite living in a busy area. Did that make sense? Milk Steak Mania? That's a person name. Dead bodies? What? Yikes. Yuck. A good living room, hardwood floors are a plus. A good basement is important, and privacy is very important. At my school, the closer the party is to the campus, the sooner it gets busted. So being a good distance from campus is nice, but being too far leads to too many problems. Also, for your personal needs, it's nice to have bedrooms that are far away from the living area. Yes, I could imagine. Chill neighbors, no neighbors. Walkable from campus. Yes, pledges and NIBs can drive, but still make it easier to get people out. Open basement is a big plus. Also a decently sized backyard if you're looking to do any day drinks and tailgates. Quick edit. I know in a lot of college towns there are only a few landlords that basically run the whole area. If it's not, that's interesting right there. Now that's really interesting. If it's at all within your power, try to seek out a landlord that isn't going to be totally up your ass and patrolling the house 24/7. I can say this from experience that having a chill landlord who's willing to look the other way makes all the difference. Well, yeah, and isn't it very handy to have a landlord that lives in Colorado if you're in Moscow? Perfect. But I'll tell you what isn't handy is the 1122 King Road being the closest of the King LLCs owned by the same person, that is right pretty much, between an apartment building and your property manager. So the property manager just walk down their steps, walk in between the queen or walk behind it, the parking lot, and they'll be right at your house. And those were the property managers. So I don't think that's very handy. So I'm curious if that was actually done on purpose. Like if it was, I'm sure Kane had to have been there quite a long time. Now I don't know if Kane actually lives in the Lindow Lane apartments or not. It makes me really curious who actually lives in those apartments that were right there, like the, exactly in those, like the one like right above it, and the one like, I don't know how those things work. Because I know the laundry room's down below, and it looks like there's like, maybe on the bottom floor, it looks like there might be like little storage areas, like for, like outdoor stuff that are like underneath where the carport is, and they put the apartments up top. But I don't know if there's how many apartments there are up there. If there's only like 3, or I don't know. That's a hard one, because you can't find any of those the walkthroughs or anything like that on there anymore, because they're taking them all down because of all of us snoopies like us, like me, snooping in there. Okay, well, I'm going to go read some more. I just thought this was really interesting because of this. Hold on one second. Because of this. So if you guys saw my community post where I posted watching the Watchers video about stabbings and fraternities, and in part of it, it was weird because I was watching it, but I wasn't totally just right there. I mean, I wasn't doing things at the time, but I heard this satellite house, and I was like, what satellite house? So it's according to the tab reporting, the incident took place outside of house party held at a satellite house for the fraternity. Now, so a satellite house is, well, let's just find out. I'll just read it to you. Hold on. So, satellite houses are any houses other than the official chapter house that include multiple brothers, 3 or more, contain any fraternity paraphernalia, letters, or can be identified as a fraternity satellite house. Satellite housing. Okay. Oh, that's not what I want. Okay, we'll go read like maybe one of these next, but here's why that jogged my memory. I was like, oh my god, where did I hear satellite before? So here's where it is. Okay, do you guys remember this in the 4chan? All those like the Fratanon posts, all that stuff. So this was in there, and it was set up like a riddle. And so when I've read it several times and thought this and thought that and wrote things down and whatever. But this time when I heard the satellite, I was like, oh my god, that rings a bell. And this is what it was. This was a satellite house, right? So boyfriend of unfortunate has had satellite turned upside down. So satellite turned his boyfriend of unfortunate has had his house turned upside down. The fellow of one of the murdered University of Idaho students has had his satellite turned upside down by her brutal slaying, which came conscionable days earlier. The young mates planned to bask the Thanksgiving vacation together. So when I thought about this, it can't be Xana, it can't be Ethan, right? So it has to be Maddie or Kelley. Well, Kelley was going to doing her own thing, so she wasn't going to be spending with anybody. So all this can be is Maddie. So boyfriend of unfortunate had satellite turned upside down. So boyfriend of Maddie had satellite turned upside down. So the fellow Jake of one of the murdered, which came conscionable days earlier. So he became aware of days earlier. The young mates planned to bask the Thanksgiving vacation together, because it was said that she was going to go to Boise and spend the vacation with Jake. And allegedly he was already in Boise. That's where he wasn't there at the time. But it's also been said, and I've heard this through a few people, that, and it's all hearsay, you guys, just so you know. I mean, this is just something that, things go around, and it's crazy, but was that Jake asked Showalter to keep an eye on the girls. That's just what I heard the other day. So this is interesting because it makes it sound like they knew what was going to happen. So my question is, back to Wazoo Kim, where she said the kids knew there was going to be a shakedown. They were going to rough them up a little bit. Shakedown, rough them up, whatever she said. I think she said shakedown. And I think Kim asked her kid why, and her kid said, well, snitches get stitches, or something like that. Anyway, so Kim said that what it was supposed to be a shakedown, and it got out of hand. They went too far. So, did the boyfriends know that something was going to happen, but they couldn't say anything or do anything about it because they have they have an oath of silence too? They can't, it's a code of silence that they take. Is that how deep this runs, that you can't even tell your girlfriend that, whoever is going to go in there and rough them up for whatever reason? That is incredibly sick. Incredibly sick. But anyway, I thought I'd bring this up because, oops, I lost my earbud. Hold on. Well, because when I heard that, so thanks for watching the Watchers. Your video was really good. I loved it. And I need to find something else here to say. Hold on a second. I wanted to say thank you to Sharon for your kind donation. Thank you very much. I appreciate that more than you know.
An RU student. What's the R stand for? This is in New Brunswick, New Jersey. So released after being charged in stabbing outside frat party, 2017, October the 23rd. Wow, it's again around Halloween. Oh God, a box cutter. Oh, a young man accused of stabbing a fellow student with a box cutter on Delafield Street has been released from county jail to await possible indictment and trial. Don't usually get released, do you, for that sort of thing? Must have somebody talking good talk for him, or flashing the cash. Robert Manifield, aged 20, is apparently a student at Rutgers University and a member of the Tau Kappa Epsilon fraternity, a fact that was first reported by the Tab. According to the Tab's reporting, the incident took place outside of house party held at a satellite house for the fraternity. I was looking, and somebody said about how that's what's led me to all this, how they wondered if that house was a fraternity annex, which sounds like it's the same sort of thing as a satellite house. It's basically like an extra house where they can go and party, basically. The fraternity rents it. They pay the rent. I mean, we do believe, and I know that Alana of TNT looked into the rent side of things. I mean, who knows? Could it all be a front? It doesn't seem like it, does it? There's a video of them in the house, so it seems like that situation would be unlikely. But anyway, here I am looking at these stabbings in satellite houses and annexes. The incident took place at approximately, and this is where hazings go on as well, the incident took place at approximately 12:43 a.m. In this incident, the victim reported being approached by a male perpetrator following a verbal altercation, which took place outside of a party. No cases in off-campus residence.